So again, two blocks if you have, put them under your arms. I'll try to show you right here, so that first of all, have your knees as wide as your mat. Elevate your hips, Rosemary, if you need to, or do it on the ball. And let your arms come out and rest so that your fingers are possibly hanging off of the edge. If you have shorter arms, you can bring it a little bit closer if that feels good. And just let your head, if your head can touch the floor, let it touch the floor if that's comfortable for you. And if not, just look forward and relax the neck and shoulders. And if this doesn't work for anybody, that's okay. Just get rid of it and just put your hands on the floor. And just really that looks really comfortable, Rosemary. That really looks nice. Push your hips a little bit more back towards your heels. Open your knees a little bit wider. Breathe down the sides of the body and front to back. And just see if you can get a little bit more opening through the front of the shoulders and the chest. The top of the foot presses down firmly into the floor. And if the breath isn't moving freely, then just back off of something. Right? Wherever you find that you're holding on to the breath, just back away from it a little bit more. And if you have your hands on two blocks, move them both over to the right block. If not, just move your hands a little bit more to the right side. Keep your left hand on the block and take your right arm underneath your left, palm up to the sky, and just open up from this side. Again, softening the belly, letting go of any physical tension that may be there, and just kind of direct it to the spaces that feel tight, stiff, uncomfortable. Deb, what are you making for breakfast, Eric? Deb, go ahead and mute. Mute before you make him oatmeal, please. Come back to center. I love to hear the recipes. Come back all the way to the center and walk over to the other side. So both hands towards the left side or on the left block. And not that I'm telling you how to spend your money, but two blocks are really nice. They come in handy in a lot of our poses. Take your left arm and bring it under the right arm. Turn the back of the head towards the floor. And just breathe down the right side body. And start to expand the breath with each breath and start to fill it up and spread it a little bit wider. One more breath. Good. Now bring your arms back into the left side and then separate them back to right and left. Inhale, come onto your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Pad your knees as much as you need to. Hands on the blocks. If you only have one block, put your hands on the floor. It's probably a little bit. Let me see how that feels. It could be okay. It's a little bit closer in your shoulders. Tuck your toes, dip your belly, and arch your back. Exhale, round and curl, top of the foot, shin down, chin to the chest, head hangs down. Inhale, arch your back, tuck your toes, dip your belly, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale. And exhale. So cat and cow. Start to make some movement through your spine. I know I didn't have the opportunity to sit and do my yoga yesterday, so I'm stiff. I need this. So thanks for being here. Come back to neutral and start to wag your hips, tail from side to side. Just start side to side. Let your torso go in the opposite direction that your hips are moving into. And then start to take this into some smaller circles, perhaps bigger circles when you're ready. Any which way that feels good. And again, Rosemary, that looks like it's so comfortable. And reverse the direction. And when you're done with the next circle, go back to the child's pose. Reaching your arms forward. Come on back. Back up to your hands and knees. And Rosemary, you can try this on the side. Take your right foot forward, left foot back. You can also go up to a bench and hold on to the bench with your hands, or stand up and put your hands on the ball or a table or a chair. And bring your right foot, right now I'm going to take both hands on the inside of the right leg. Hug the right knee to the right shoulder for a moment here. Left knee, so you shouldn't be on a tightrope, right? Your left knee should be under your left hip, your right knee should be in line with your right hip. Drop your left hip forward so the psoas get the beginnings of a nice release, hopefully. You should have your left knee behind your hip, not underneath it, so we're not sitting upright on it. And then turn your right toes out to the right side and sink a little bit lower. Put your right hand on your right thigh and twist to the right side. Relax the left shoulder. Drop the left hip. Oh, this feels good. And stretch. If you want a little bit more, stretch the right arm up in the air and just twist to the right side. Breathe and press down through your left arm so you lift out of your left side rib cage and you're not dumping into the hip. One more breath. Take your hands to the block or the floor. Turn the toes forward and once again stretch your front leg straight. Pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. Broaden through the collarbones. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Yeah, you know what well, that's just like chair yoga. It's really fabulous. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, take one or the only block, and some of you are going to sit all the way back, put the block under your sitting bones. If your left knee feels compromised here, straighten it up, take it out to where it's comfortable. So you're sitting down, elevated on the block if you have a block, the ball if you have the small ball. If you need a strap or towel, grab that, and then fold over your right leg. Just get to the first point where you feel it. Just where you feel it. So your right leg is straight, your left leg is bent in some fashion or straight out as well. So if your hamstrings are tight, and I'm looking and I can see, then your knee is going to bend a little bit more. So Michelle, back your torso up a little bit so that your leg is a little bit straight. Yeah. So the first point of resistance is where we're going to stay for a moment, right? To breathe into that point of resistance. Then, after a couple of moments here, if it feels okay, travel a little bit deeper. If it doesn't, stay where you are. And just breathe. Let go of the shoulder tension. Rosemary. Relax that right shoulder down. Good. Now, everybody just turn your right toes to the right. New sensation. Kind of like in excess. And then walk your hands a little further if it's there. Pull your right hip back and your left hip forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale, walk your hands back up. Bend your right knee. I think you can all do this to some degree. Some of you will bring your heel closer to your butt. Some of you will keep your heel a little bit further just to release any more tension in the knee. Hug your hands around your right shin and sit up tall. Yep. Take your right hand behind you, right in the middle of the two sides. Take your left arm up in the air. Breathe. And then exhale, either hug or twist your arm outside of the right leg and pull the right knee towards midline as opposed to opening it out to the side. Inhale. Twist a little deeper. Exhale. So the left leg can be wherever you need it to be. Oh, good. My back just started opening up. Inhale. And twist deeper. Exhale. Come back to the center. Just do a little counter twist, bringing your right arm inside. Hug your right knee to your shoulder like you did on the floor a moment ago. And then come back to the center. This is tricky. Interlace your fingers or a strap or towel underneath the right foot, the ball of the foot, and lift the foot up off the floor. Bye. Bye. Have a good day, dear. Bring your right shin parallel to the floor. Bend your knee, E.T. Start with a bent knee. So the knee is, it's like you're pulling your knee to your shoulder. Yeah. And then some of you may choose to straighten the leg a little bit. Mine doesn't go perfectly straight. You didn't need that strap. You got it. Shoulders back. Good. It's okay if the knee is bent. It's your body. It's okay. One more thing, Riley. While you're here, rebend your knee, pull it in. Pull the knee in and push your foot away, like you're driving with a kid that's just learning how to drive, or your husband. I don't know, or wife. Push your knee towards your shoulder and push your foot towards your hand. Feel that opposing action. And then for some of you, you're going to take the right foot and hook it on the inside of your inguinal crease here, and others will just put the foot on the inside of the inner thigh with a wider stance if you need to open up the knee a little bit more. So if you have the flexibility to line up your heel with your belly button groin, and right in that inguinal crease right here, and then just take a few breaths here. Not the most pleasant place to be for a lot of us. And if it's not pleasant, just bring it down and open up the knee a little bit. One more breath. Good. Inhale, come back. I don't want to hold that too long. Extend your right leg out. Windshield wiper it. Place your hands on the floor. Lift yourself off of your block. Let's just tuck the toes under behind us and stretch into downward dog so your hips get in the air and your knee straightens. Bend one knee, then the other, press the heel down towards the floor. And I had a cramp in the middle of the night, so I can feel my right calf, wow, still cramped. Come onto your toes and pull your belly up into your spine, shift forward to a high plank. I know we're never done with planks, it's not November. Now in the plank, I want you to drop your chest and then push away. So without bending your arms, you're doing a little, it's called scapular push-up. So I'll show you from here with just my legs bent. You can do this on your bent legs as well. So drop your shoulder blades down in between, or drop your chest down, let your shoulder blades lift, and then straighten the arms. Don't straighten your arms, except push the floor away. So you're dropping through your chest, and then pushing up. And then you're dropping, really great movement for shoulder stability. Drop down, push up, push back to downward facing dog. Press your heels towards the floor, they may or may not touch. Bring your right knee to the floor as you lower your hips. Step your left foot forward, and then bring your left foot on the outside of both hands on the floor or the blocks, or a block. I'll keep one block for now. Hug the knee to the shoulder, so bring your hand on the inside of the table. Bring your left hand on the inside, yeah. So both hands are underneath the shoulders, the left knee is pulling into the left tricep. And breathe, inhale. Drop your right hip back, so your right hip should be behind the knee, so you're not sitting on top of the patella. And your right hip is dropping low. And then turn your left toes out to the left side, you'll get a little bit more space. Take your left hand to the inside of the left thigh and open up to the left side. Good. And you can stay right where you are. Take your left arm in the air. Ro, if you have a folding chair, our next session together, we're going to get that. Yeah, because what you're doing there is really like chair yoga, which is awesome. And it's not for the subtle or hard. Okay, it's not easy. One more breath. Hands to the floor. Turn your toes forward again. Stretch your front leg straight. Remember, stop at the first point of resistance, wherever that is. It doesn't matter if the leg is very bent or not. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And then turn the left toes to the left side. And then see if you probably get a little bit more space here with the toes out. Take a few breaths, relax the neck and shoulders. Good, now come back around to the center, take the block. Oops, place it the long way so that you're gonna sit back and have your sitting bones on the block, left leg is forward. Right leg is either bent this way, can be bent this way, or just let it go to the side. So your left leg's in front of you. Walk your hands forward, first point of resistance again. Have a strap towel nearby. Breathe in and out, broaden the collarbones. Relax your shoulders, eye gaze forward. walk your hands a little bit more forward if that's available. You have to ask yourself, you know, when you take yourself into these positions, why and can I and should I? You know, does it make sense? Doesn't always make sense. One more breath. If you're doing it just because I told you to do it, you shouldn't. Don't trust me all the time. You have to listen to your body. I'm just a guide. Walk your hands back in, sit up nice and tall. Bend your left knee. Place it where it's comfortable for you. Take your hands around the shin and lift your torso up. Pull your shoulders back and down, broaden your collarbones. Can you feel still your left and right sitting bones on the floor or the block? So make sure you're not rocking just to the right side. Get the left sitting bone down, level. Take your left arm, bring it behind you, between your two sides, right in the middle. Inhale, stretch your right arm up, and then decide to hug again, or take your arm perhaps on the outside of the leg. And as you do that, pull your knee and arm towards each other, so don't let the knee knock in on this one, just keep it neutral in the center. Inhale, and exhale. Take another breath. Twist a little deeper. Inhale back to center. Take a hold of your left foot, knee bent. Interlace your fingers. Now if you interlace your fingers, try the other finger on top, the other pinky, just for fun. Bend your knee and pull the knee into your armpit. So your shin is parallel to the floor. And again, you're pulling the knee to your shoulder, but at the same time you're pushing your foot into your hands. Feel that action. If you're tight, you're going to start to Shavasana, right? So try to stay up as upright as you can, and then choose to straighten the leg or not. Nice and sharp. Good. Yeah. I mean, listen, my knee's not straight. Not going to happen anytime soon. Keep pushing the left sitting bone down, though. There you go. One more breath. Good. Inhale, rebend the knee towards your shoulder. Pull it in, push away at the same time. And then take a hold of the foot and choose to either bring it up towards your inguinal crease, in towards your inner thigh, wider, or a little bit straighter. All right, we're only here for about 3 breaths. This is like a half lotus position in yoga. The heel would line up with the belly button pubic bone, and in line, right, if you were standing, and if you're sitting in a normal position, heel would be like right at this crease, the inguinal crease. 3 more breaths. 2. 1. Release the breath, release the foot, stretch it out in front of you, just give it a little shake. And then bend your knees, come forward. Take the block back to the front of the space, tuck the toes underneath you, lift your hips in the air, downward facing dog, and you can be on the bench on the floor, on a table, wherever you are. Now right here, let's drop that chest shoulder thing again. Drop through your shoulders and then push the floor away. So try this with straight arms. This is not a bent arm position. Bend, chest, and stretch. Now, shift that into a plank or on your knees and do the same thing. Drop through your chest and push back up. Let me see you do that. Keep going. Good. So I want to see the dip between the 2 shoulders. It's a push-up without bending your arms. Drop down, lift up, one more time, drop down, lift up, push your hips in the air, downward facing dog. Bend one knee then the other. And then come back down to your knees. And if you're not going on your knees, sit on a bench. If you have 2 blocks, you're going to sit up. You're going to put the 2 blocks by your ankles. If you only have 1 block, don't worry about the blocks right now. So hands on your hips, fingers in either direction. We'll use 1 block in a second. I'll show you how to do that. And you can do this in a standing position like you're doing, bro. Elbows in, squeeze the shoulders together. Turn to the side a little bit. Lift your chest up. Keep your hands at the small of your back. Fingers in either direction. Fingers up is going to give you a nice wrist stretch. Fingers down, maybe, not so much maybe. Lift your chest up. Now, if you do have 2 blocks and you put them on either side of your legs, probably on the highest height, just put your hands on the blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, see if you want to move your hands back and reach towards your feet, but you don't have to hold on right now. Now, the position here is hips are over knees. The shoulders will not be over the hips. They'll be behind you. So lift out of your middle upper back. Again, if you have the blocks, this puts you into a beautiful camel position. Now, if you have 1 block, we'll come back up and do it again a different way. Come back up. Sit on your heels for a second. Just stretch out. Release. If you have 1 block only, you're going to place it in between your 2 sides behind you. And again, in the middle of the lower height, because the higher height's a little unstable. So come back to your knees. If you have the 2 blocks and you want to just hold on to the 2 blocks here. If you have 1 block, it's a little bit more extreme. You're going to go back towards the 1 block. And then once again, once you get your hands where they're going, and bring that block in a little closer, Michelle. Right, so your hips will stay over your knees. And now pull your shoulders back and press your chest open. Keep pushing your hips forward, E.T. And Deb, that's perfect. Yeah. So you have 2 extremes here. The 3rd extreme, come on back up. Sit on your heels for a second. You can sit on the blocks for a second if it's in a good placement for you. The 3rd option is to grab a hold of your feet, toes tucked or untucked, for the full version of the pose. So option 1, hands on 2 blocks. Option 2, hands on 1 block. Option 3, hands to your heels. But look where it's going. So I'm here to grab my heels, then I push forward so that the hips are over the knees. All right? If you're modifying, you can still do that. Good. So now once you've got a hold of wherever you're going, and that's perfect, Rob, then push your hips more forward and open up your shoulders and chest more. This is like that scapula push-up reverse. And then come on back up. Whoops, blocks are going all over the place. Sit down on your heels or on the block if you like, and just release your legs off to either side. Walk yourself down towards the front edge of your mat, like the front 1/3 of your mat. Have your blocks nearby. In fact, put your block in between your knees. Take it this way. So high, tallest height, but the knees are going to squeeze it so it comes. And if you don't have it, use your ball. Sit up nice and tall. Once again, turn to the side. Good. Hold on underneath your thighs. Tuck your chin to your chest. Pull your belly to your spine, but leave the shoulders down from the ears. And then roll back just a couple of inches down. Then let go of your hands. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. You have a C curve of your spine. Take your chin. Take one of your fists between your chin and collarbone. That's the space you have. So lift your chin up a little bit. Just a little bit. Good. And then hold on lightly to the outside of your thighs. Bring yourself back up. Pull your shoulders back and down. Squeeze the block or the ball. Chin to chest. Is that a dope toy? Round your back. It works. Come back in. Reuse what we got. Pull the belly in, release the arms. Turn the palms up. Take them both to the right side. Lift your left, or reach your left arm a little bit longer. A little bit longer. A little bit longer. Come back through center and take it to the other side. Reach your right arm a little longer. A little longer. A little longer. Come back to center. Scoop out your belly. Inhale, lift up. Just fold over your legs for a moment. We're going to take the block in between your thighs or the ball, whatever you got, and we're going to roll all the way down. So sit up nice and tall one more time. Chin to chest around your spine. Pull the belly in, release the arms. Hold there for a moment. And take 8 counts to get to the floor. Ready? 8, 7, 6. Hold on if you need to. 5, 4, 3. This is about where it wants to pull you down with gravity. 2, 1. Keep your head and shoulders off the floor. Bring your hands behind your head, just lightly holding on. You still have that space between your chin and collarbone. Lift your legs up, squeeze the block. Lift your head and shoulders up. Straighten your legs, lift your hips up. Head and shoulders, hips, legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your head, take the block out. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall over to the left side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale back to center. Place your feet on the floor. Your block has 3 heights if you're using a block. 3 heights. Pick one of them. Lift your hips up and place your hips on the block. So the high block, if that camel pose that we did with our hands on the blocks or on your feet felt really easy for you, you might want to try a middle or higher height. Stretch one leg at a time in the air. If you're on a high height, you might have to hold onto the block for stability. And both legs in the air. Excuse me. Let your body weight sink into the block. Take a few moments here just to kind of decompress. If you don't have a block, your legs can still be in the air. And you can even support your back with your hands if it feels okay. Don't turn your neck. I'm only turning to look at you. Excuse me. Then start to lower your legs one at a time, all the way out in front of you. So again, if you're on the higher block, you're going to have a really big arch, and it may not be comfortable for everybody. So you decide what's appropriate for your back. And if you're holding onto your glutes to stay up here, let go. If you're not on a block or anything, you can put 2 fists under your kidneys and just let your legs come out a little bit, or just stay on this flat back for a few breaths. So just opening up the front space of the body. We did this a couple times in the camel. Bend your knees, and in the next breath, lift your hips up off the block. Articulate your spine down, hug your knees all the way back to your chest. And now, happy baby. Take your feet to the ceiling, roll a little side to side, let go of tension. Make your way back to the center. Pull your knees down towards your armpits again, feet towards the ceiling. And that same action of pulling your knees in but pushing your feet away. Right? Just that slight change. And then letting go, draw the knees to the chest. Lift your head and shoulders up around you and curl your spine. Lower your head to the floor, lower your legs out in front of you. Stretch your arms all the way over your head. Reach, hook your thumbs in one on top of the other, doesn't matter which one right now, you'll switch. Reach your fingers away from your center, reach your toes away from your center, reach everything away from your center, and stretch the right side of your body longer than the left. This is like that scapula punch again. And then do the same thing as you switch the cross of the thumbs, lengthen the left side of the body. And then come back to center, inhale, reach everything again away from your center, point your toes, reach your fingers. And exhale, let your arms and legs just kind of splay open while you rest on your back for a few breaths. You're always welcome to take more breaths on your back and stay longer, but see if you can just let go for a few more breaths, a few moments before you get, started or continue on your day. And just take this opportunity of giving back to yourselves, because we don't take the time a lot for us. So if you're staying at home, thanks for watching. Stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. And for